Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?
Well, there were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
What if the royal love story we thought we knew was hiding dark secrets? A shocking discovery has surfaced. Queen Camilla's private diary, rumored to contain explosive details about King Charles. From secret scandals to untold truths about their controversial romance. This diary could change everything we know about the British monarchy. What terrifying revelations could it hold?
Did you find it harrowing?
I did find it, and I think what made it so readable was your writing, your prose, your descriptions of nature.
Buckle up, because this royal drama is about to get even more scandalous. Stay tuned for the jaw-dropping details. Charles and Camilla first meet, 1970. It was the summer of 1970 when Prince Charles, the future King of England, met Camilla Shand for the very first time. The encounter happened at a polo match in Windsor Great Park, a setting that couldn't have been more fitting for a royal romance to begin. The air was filled with excitement, horses galloping, and laughter echoing across the field. Among the crowd stood Camilla, a confident and witty young woman who would soon capture the attention of the young prince. As the story goes, their meeting wasn't just casual, it was electric. Charles was immediately drawn to Camilla's charm and humor. Unlike many others in royal circles, Camilla didn't treat Charles as just a prince. She spoke to him like a regular person, and her down-to-earth personality made her stand out. She reportedly broke the ice with a cheeky joke that caught Charles off guard. Camilla reminded him that their great-grandmothers had both been mistresses to the same king. Her boldness left Charles both amused and intrigued, and the two hit it off instantly. Camilla, who was 23 at the time, wasn't from a royal family, but she came from an aristocratic background. She'd grown up around horses, countryside parties, and the kind of life that made her comfortable in the royal world. Charles, on the other hand, was just starting to step into his role as the Prince of Wales, balancing the weight of royal duties with his personal desires. Meeting Camilla felt like a breath of fresh air for him. Over the next few months, Charles and Camilla spent more time together, and their relationship began to blossom. They shared a love for the countryside, polo, and good conversation. Camilla had a way of making Charles feel at ease, something he deeply valued as the pressures of royal life surrounded him. Friends of the couple at the time said their chemistry was undeniable, but their love story hit its first obstacle not long after it began. Charles's royal duties called him away to serve in the Royal Navy, and their relationship was put on hold. While Charles was away, Camilla rekindled her romance with Andrew Parker Bowles, whom she would later marry. Though their love story didn't take off at the time, that first meeting in 1970 set the stage for decades of connection, heartbreak, and eventual reconciliation. It was the beginning of a royal relationship that would go on to shape history. Camilla marries Andrew Parker Bowles, 1973. The year was 1973, and the British social scene was buzzing with excitement. Camilla Shand, a young woman with a sharp wit and a warm personality, was set to marry Andrew Parker Bowles, a handsome and charming officer in the British Army. Their wedding was the talk of the town, and it became one of the most glamorous social events of the year. But behind the smiles and celebration, there was an untold story of love, heartbreak, and what might have been. Camilla and Andrew had been in an on-again, off-again relationship for several years. Andrew, who was known for his good looks and charisma, had many admirers, and their relationship wasn't always smooth. Despite the ups and downs, Camilla seemed deeply taken with him. She was ready to settle down and start a family, and Andrew appeared to be the perfect match for her. However, what many didn't know at the time was that another man, Prince Charles, had already captured Camilla's heart just a few years earlier. Prince Charles and Camilla had met in 1970, and their connection was undeniable. They shared a bond that was rare and unique, but timing was not on their side. Charles's royal duties required him to join the Royal Navy, which meant he had to leave Camilla behind. In his absence, Camilla rekindled her romance with Andrew, and their relationship grew stronger. When Charles returned, it was too late. Camilla and Andrew's engagement had already been announced. On July 4, 1973, Camilla and Andrew tied the knot in a grand ceremony at the Guards' Chapel in London. The wedding was attended by high society, including members of the royal family. Camilla looked radiant in her white dress, smiling as she walked down the aisle. From the outside, it seemed like a perfect fairy tale. However, those close to Camilla knew that Charles was never far from her thoughts. Despite marrying Andrew, Camilla and Charles remained friends. They stayed in touch, and their bond remained strong even as they built separate lives. Camilla and Andrew went on to have 2 children, Tom and Laura, but their marriage was far from perfect. Charles and Camilla's affair resumes. The story of Prince Charles and Camilla Shand had always been complicated, but by the mid-1980s it took an explosive turn. Although Camilla had married Andrew Parker Bowles in 1973, and Charles had tied the knot with Lady Diana Spencer in 1981, the connection between Charles and Camilla never truly disappeared. Behind the grand royal events and public appearances, their bond remained strong, and by 1986, their affair had quietly resumed. At this point, Charles and Diana's marriage was already struggling. What had started as a fairy tale union was now filled with tension, misunderstandings, and unhappiness. Diana was aware of Charles's lingering feelings for Camilla, which only added to the cracks in their relationship. Charles, feeling increasingly distant from Diana, found comfort in the arms of the woman he had always turned to, Camilla. Their rekindled affair wasn't something that happened overnight. It began subtly, with Charles and Camilla spending more time together at social events and private gatherings. Camilla, who was still married to Andrew Parker Bowles, was a source of emotional support for Charles. She understood the pressures of his royal life in a way that Diana, still young and inexperienced at the time, struggled to grasp. For Charles, Camilla was more than just an old flame. She was a confidant, a friend, and someone he could rely on. As their relationship deepened, rumors of their affair began to spread. Friends and aides close to the couple noticed their growing closeness, and whispers about their meetings started to reach the public. Diana herself confronted Charles about his relationship with Camilla. The affair caused a ripple effect of pain and scandal. Diana's emotional struggles became more apparent, and her marriage to Charles continued to unravel. Meanwhile, Camilla faced her own challenges, as her relationship with Andrew Parker Bowles also began to break down. By the early 1990s, the affair was no longer a secret, and the media frenzy surrounding it became relentless. Looking back, the resumption of Charles and Camilla's affair in 1986 marked a turning point in the history of the British monarchy. It not only led to the eventual collapse of 2 marriages, but it also set the stage for decades of public and private drama. Their love, though controversial, would later endure and reshape the royal family in ways no one could have imagined. Charles marries Diana, 1981. It was July 29, 1981, when the world witnessed what seemed like the perfect fairy tale. Prince Charles, heir to the British throne, married Lady Diana Spencer in a grand ceremony that captured the hearts of millions. With over 750 million people watching on television worldwide, it was called the Wedding of the Century. The union between the shy 20-year-old Diana and the 32-year-old prince appeared magical. But beneath the surface, the story was far more complicated. The wedding itself was nothing short of spectacular. St. Paul's Cathedral, chosen for its larger capacity compared to Westminster Abbey, was packed with royals, dignitaries, and celebrities. Diana arrived in a glass carriage, wearing a stunning ivory silk gown with a 25-foot train, designed by David and Elizabeth Emanuel. The sight of her stepping out of the carriage became one of the most iconic images in royal history. The young bride looked every bit the princess she was about to become, and the crowd erupted in cheers as she made her way down the aisle. Charles, dressed in his naval uniform, waited at the altar, appearing calm and composed. The couple exchanged vows, though there were small, telling signs of nerves. Diana famously mixed up Charles's name during the ceremony, calling him Philip Charles Arthur George, instead of Charles Philip Arthur George. It was a minor mistake, but it hinted at the underlying stress of the day. From the outside, everything seemed perfect. The streets of London were lined with thousands of well-wishers waving flags, and the reception was a grand affair. The couple's kiss on the balcony of Buckingham Palace became a defining moment, replayed countless times in the media, Diana, with her natural charm and beauty, quickly won over the public, earning her title as the People's Princess. However, while the world celebrated, the marriage itself was built on shaky ground. Charles and Diana had only met 12 times before getting engaged. Their relationship lacked a deep emotional connection, and Charles's lingering feelings for his former flame, Camilla Parker Bowles, cast a shadow over their union. Diana, though smitten with Charles, would later reveal how lonely and isolated she felt. Diana confronts Camilla about the affair. By the late 1980s, Princess Diana could no longer ignore the growing distance between her and Prince Charles. Whispers of an ongoing secret between Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles had turned into louder rumors. Though Diana had always sensed that Charles's heart belonged to someone else, she decided to face the situation head-on. In 1989, she gathered the courage to confront Camilla at a birthday party, an event that would become legendary in royal history. Many well-known figures had gathered for a celebration in London, unaware that the evening would take a dramatic turn. The party was held for Camilla's sister, but the happy occasion had a tense undertone. Diana, feeling increasingly isolated and hurt, chose this moment to speak directly to the woman she believed was threatening her marriage. It was a small gathering, which made it easier for Diana to corner Camilla in a quiet corner, away from the main party. Diana approached Camilla with determination, her heart pounding. Despite her nerves, she spoke calmly, but firmly. She famously said, "I know what's going on. Don't treat me like I'm stupid." People who later heard about this confrontation often wondered how Camilla reacted to being challenged by the Princess of Wales. According to Diana's own accounts, Camilla tried to maintain her composure, but the tension in the air was undeniable. The conversation that followed was brief but powerful. Diana made it clear she wanted no secrets in her marriage, and that she deserved honesty from both Charles and Camilla. In some reports, Camilla replied that Diana had everything she could want: fame, beauty, and 2 beautiful sons. Diana, however, saw these words as dismissive and hurtful, feeling that Camilla was undermining her emotional needs. This confrontation was a key moment in Diana's life. Though she didn't end the affair that very night, she took a brave step by standing up for herself and her children. The media would later learn of this face-to-face meeting, adding more fuel to the already intense coverage of the royal marriage. For Diana, it was a moment of releasing pent-up anger and sadness. In the years that followed, the tension between Diana, Charles, and Camilla grew stronger, eventually leading to tabloid headlines around the world. Yet, this single evening at a birthday party remained a turning point. Diana's confrontation showed her willingness to fight for her dignity, even if it meant challenging the very traditions and expectations that had long defined royal life. Charles and Diana live separate lives, 1986. Charles and Diana's marriage started like a fairy tale, but by 1986, the cracks were impossible to ignore. Instead of sharing a warm and loving bond, the Prince and Princess of Wales seemed more like strangers under the same roof. Friends, staff, and even the public noticed that the couple was drifting apart. The magic of their 1981 wedding was gone, replaced by long periods of living separate lives both in and out of the palace. At the time, Diana was a global icon. Her warmth and compassion shone during royal events, charity visits, and public engagements. People adored her for her natural charm and stylish outfits. However, behind the scenes, she felt lonely and misunderstood. Charles, meanwhile, continued his royal duties and focused on his private interests, like polo and gardening. He spent more time in the countryside, enjoying peaceful retreats and the company of close friends. Their busy schedules offered an easy cover for how little time they actually spent together. Though both tried to keep up appearances for the sake of tradition and their roles, tensions were growing. Rumors about Diana's unhappiness and Charles's connection with Camilla Parker Bowles only added more strain. Diana's heartfelt attempts to find emotional support from Charles often went unanswered, and Charles, feeling pressured by royal expectations, withdrew even further. As a result, the two formed separate routines, rarely sharing intimate moments or genuine conversations. Even at public events, keen observers could sense the distance between them. Photographers captured moments when Diana stood a few steps away, looking isolated, while Charles appeared engaged with others. Their differing interests became more obvious. Diana preferred spending time with her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, and focusing on charitable work. Charles found solace in quiet hobbies and deep conversations that did not always include Diana. By the end of 1986, it was clear to insiders that the royal couple had practically become roommates, not partners. They lived their daily lives in different parts of palaces, rarely meeting except for official events or planned family moments. Despite efforts by the royal family to deny any serious marital problems, rumors circulated across newspapers and magazines, intensifying the pressure on both Charles and Diana. Diana's Panorama Interview, 1995. Diana's Panorama Interview, 1995, was a moment that caught the world by surprise and changed the way people viewed the royal family. It aired on November 20th, 1995, on the BBC program Panorama, hosted by journalist Martin Bashir. Millions of people tuned in to watch Princess Diana speak openly about her life, her marriage to Prince Charles, and the pressures of being in the public eye. This was the first time a member of the royal family had given such a frank and personal interview on national television. From the beginning, Diana showed a calm and gentle manner, even though the topics were deeply personal. She spoke about feeling isolated and misunderstood within the royal household. She also confessed to struggling with bulimia, a condition she linked to the stress and emotional pain she felt. Diana's openness on these private matters showed her willingness to connect with ordinary people who faced similar struggles. Perhaps the most remembered part of the interview was Diana's honest talk about her marriage problems. At one point, she famously said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded," referring to Prince Charles's long-running connection with Camilla Parker Bowles. This direct statement seemed to confirm the rumors about Charles and Camilla's affair. Hearing Diana speak these words on national television shocked the audience and the royal establishment. During the interview, Diana also talked about her role in the royal family, suggesting that they saw her as a threat rather than an ally. She described feeling unsupported by palace staff and felt that her accomplishments were overshadowed by royal protocol. Diana expressed that she wanted to be a queen in people's hearts, suggesting that she cared more about helping others than about official titles and positions. The public reaction to Diana's Panorama interview was huge. People felt both sympathy and admiration for her honesty. Many applauded Diana for daring to speak about private matters, while others criticized the BBC for giving her such a platform to reveal the inner workings of the royal family. For the royal household, the interview was a crisis that raised questions about how to handle such a frank admission of marital issues and personal pain. In the days and weeks after the interview, tensions grew within the monarchy, and discussions about Diana and Charles's future intensified. By the following year, the two finalized their divorce. Diana's Panorama interview remains a defining moment in modern royal history, a rare instance when a royal figure chose to break tradition and directly tell the world her side of the story. Diana's tragic death. In the early hours of August 31st, 1997, the world lost a beloved figure, Diana, Princess of Wales. She was just 36 years old. That night, Diana was in Paris with her companion, Dodi Fayed. They were traveling in a Mercedes-Benz limousine when their driver, Henri Paul, sped through the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, attempting to escape pursuing paparazzi. Inside the car were Diana, Dodi, Henri, and bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones. Suddenly, the car lost control and crashed into a pillar inside the tunnel. Dodi Fayed and Henri Paul died at the scene. Diana was rushed to the Pitié-Salpêtrière hospital, where doctors worked tirelessly to save her. Tragically, she succumbed to her injuries a few hours later. Only Trevor Rees-Jones survived, though he was badly hurt. Initial police reports revealed that Henri Paul had high levels of alcohol in his blood. The paparazzi on motorbikes had been chasing the car, hoping to get photos, and were quickly blamed by the public for their role in the tragedy. When the news of Diana's death reached the public, shock and grief spread around the globe. People could not believe that the people's princess, known for her warmth and compassion, was gone. Crowds began to gather outside Kensington Palace in London, leaving piles of flowers, letters, and gifts as tributes. Newspapers worldwide carried headlines of disbelief and sorrow. In the days leading up to her funeral, the nation found itself overcome with mourning. On September 6, 1997, Diana's funeral took place at Westminster Abbey. A solemn procession guided her coffin through the streets of London, with her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, walking behind. Seeing the two young princes following their mother's coffin brought many to tears. Crowds lined the route, and millions more watched the proceedings on television. Elton John performed a moving rendition of Candle in the Wind, which he had reworked to honor Diana. Diana's death sparked new discussions about the heightened role of the media and paparazzi in the lives of public figures. Many felt that the relentless pursuit for tabloid photos had gone too far. At the same time, people praised Diana's charitable work and genuine kindness. In the months and years that followed, her legacy inspired changes in how the royal family engaged with the public, and how the press approached the private lives of famous individuals. Charles and Camilla marry, 2005. In April 2005, after decades of ups and downs, Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles finally made their love official. The couple's relationship had been in the spotlight for many years, stirring controversy and debate across the United Kingdom. However, their bond had proven too strong to be broken by public scandals, royal expectations, or even the tragic death of Princess Diana. When the announcement of their engagement came, many people were surprised, but also curious about how exactly the royal wedding would unfold for a couple with such a long history. The wedding was initially set to take place on April 8, 2005, at Windsor Castle, but had to be postponed by one day, so Prince Charles could attend Pope John Paul II's funeral in Rome. On April 9th, the couple held a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall, followed by a blessing at St. George's Chapel. Queen Elizabeth II did not attend the civil ceremony, but she joined the family for the blessing and later hosted a reception. The mood was joyful yet modest, reflecting their desire for a subdued celebration. Despite the years of public scrutiny, many people were happy to see Charles and Camilla finally wed. Their mutual affection was clear, and the simpler wedding format highlighted their wish for a more private celebration. Camilla took the title of Duchess of Cornwall instead of Princess of Wales, a decision made out of respect for Diana's memory and the public's lingering feelings. Though some critics remained skeptical, the couple's union gained acceptance over time as they took on more royal duties together. In the months and years following their marriage, Charles and Camilla continued to shape their public roles. They supported various charities, traveled for state visits, and appeared together at cultural and social events. While Charles focused on environmental issues and youth programs, Camilla championed literacy, women's rights, and the well-being of animals. Over time, their team approach began to soften public opinion, and an increasing number of people saw Camilla less as an interloper and more as a loyal partner to the future king. For Charles, the marriage marked a new chapter in his personal life, fulfilling a desire delayed by past controversies. When Queen Elizabeth II eventually gave her approval, it signaled that even the strict royal tradition could adapt to modern changes. As the Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla showed her dedication to her new royal duties, engaging with the public and supporting causes dear to her and Charles. Their wedding stood as proof that love can endure, even after years of challenges and heartbreak. Modern status of Camilla and Charles. Charles and Camilla's relationship has transformed significantly over the years. From a scandal that shook the royal family to their eventual marriage in 2005, they have now become a steady presence at the heart of the monarchy. With Charles ascending to the throne as King Charles III after the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, Camilla holds the title of Queen, signaling a remarkable shift from her earlier public image as the Duchess of Cornwall. Their story is one of both personal and royal evolution, marked by changing public attitudes and growing acceptance. Today, Charles and Camilla focus on their royal duties, while also showing a more relaxed and approachable side. King Charles, known for his passion for environmental issues, continues to champion causes such as climate change, sustainable farming, and the protection of wildlife. Camilla, meanwhile, has become a strong advocate for literacy programs and charities focusing on domestic violence and osteoporosis awareness. People are seeing her as a supportive and hardworking royal figure, quite different from the controversial figure she once was in the media. An important part of their modern status involves their public appearances, which display a respectful and warm partnership. They are often seen together at official functions, greeting diplomats, meeting with local leaders, and engaging with charity representatives. Both are comfortable with each other's presence, and their relaxed interactions hint at a deep understanding built over many years. This contrasts with the formal and sometimes distant image royals have had in the past, reflecting the more open and modern style they bring to the crown. As king and queen, Charles and Camilla's approach to leadership within the royal family highlights the values they hold dear. Charles remains focused on maintaining the monarchy's relevance in a rapidly changing world, while Camilla uses her platform to shine a light on everyday issues people face. They support each other's projects, attend joint events, and often speak with genuine interest to those they meet, helping to humanize the royal institution. Public opinion of the couple has gradually softened, especially compared to the intense criticism they faced years ago. While some still remember the past controversies, many have come to respect Charles's lifelong commitment to public service and Camilla's dedication to charitable work. Their marriage is viewed less as a royal scandal and more as a story of two people who eventually found acceptance and happiness together.
She was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage. She needed.
Let's take a look at the intriguing and controversial life of King Charles, a prominent figure in the British royal family, as Kayleigh McEnany unveils a comprehensive exposé on his secrets, scandals, and untold stories. This revealing narrative also sheds light on the journey of his current queen consort, Camilla Parker Bowles. From the early days of Camilla's romance with Prince Charles, through years of public scrutiny and scandal, to her eventual acceptance into the royal fold, we explore every detail of their complex relationship. Discover how a single phone call almost brought down the British monarchy, and how a secret love affair existed long before Princess Diana came into the picture. Get ready to delve into the hidden truths behind the headlines, as we examine how Camilla transformed from one of the most reviled women in Britain to queen consort. This story spans decades and includes some of the most shocking moments in royal history, as revealed by Kayleigh McEnany. Starting from the beginning, we follow the current queen consort, Camilla Parker Bowles, and King Charles as they navigate their new roles amidst ongoing public scrutiny. Their relationship has been anything but smooth, marked by scandal and controversy, notably during Charles's marriage to Princess Diana. However, the revelations didn't stop there. Uncover the secret Queen Camilla revealed about King Charles, and explore the royal love story that intertwines Charles, Camilla, and Diana, adding layers of intrigue to this narrative that mirrors a fairy tale with its unexpected twists and turns. On a breezy afternoon in 1970, during a polo match at Windsor Great Park, Charles encountered Camilla. She broke the ice by mentioning that her great-grandmother had been the mistress of Charles's great-great-grandfather, highlighting their shared history. It's quite an introduction. Historians suggest they may have been introduced by a mutual friend, Lucia Santa Cruz, but regardless of how it happened, sparks flew, and they began dating. Their bond was genuine, marked by real happiness and togetherness. However, their romance was interrupted when Charles was sent to serve in the Royal Navy. During their time apart, Camilla made a pivotal decision and married Andrew Parker Bowles in 1973, a man who had once dated Charles's sister, Princess Anne. Despite her marriage, Camilla and Charles maintained their connection, with Charles even becoming the godfather to Camilla's son Tom. Rumor has it that Charles made a last-minute attempt to stop Camilla's wedding. Imagine the heartache of watching someone you love marry another. Before Diana entered the scene, Charles had a brief romance with her sister, Sarah Spencer, in 1977. This relationship ended when Sarah overshared with the press, but she played a crucial role in introducing Charles to her younger sister, Diana, at Althorpe House during a pheasant hunt. This introduction set the stage for Charles and Diana's relationship. Charles's relationship with Diana was heavily influenced by royal expectations. By the late 1970s, he was under pressure to find a suitable wife, and Diana, young and seemingly perfect for the role of a princess, fit the bill. Despite this, Charles's heart always seemed to be drawn to Camilla. Their early days were filled with joy, a stark contrast to the challenges that lay ahead for Charles. The impact of Charles's first love with Camilla was profound, enduring through the years. Camilla would later reveal the full truth about Charles. But before we get to that revelation, let's delve deeper into Charles and Diana's story, from teenage crush to royal partnership. Their early days were filled with charming but awkward moments. In November 1977, Diana, a 16-year-old schoolgirl, met 28-year-old Charles, a prominent royal figure, at Althorpe. Thanks to her sister Sarah, who had once dated Charles, the dinner was buzzing with excitement when the prince arrived. Diana made a lasting impression with her lively personality, catching Charles's attention. He even asked her for a dance after dinner, marking their first formal meeting. In 1978, Diana found herself amid the grandeur of Buckingham Palace, attending Charles's 30th birthday celebration. This event, filled with royalty and elite figures, was a world Diana, still a teenager, had to navigate. Their next notable meeting occurred 2 years later, in 1980, at a friend's house party. During this time, Charles was deeply affected by the tragic loss of Lord Mountbatten. Diana's empathy and kind words touched Charles profoundly. She noticed his sadness and told him he shouldn't be lonely and deserved someone to care for him. This genuine moment of compassion brought them closer, revealing a side of Diana that Charles hadn't fully seen before. Diana's popularity with the public soared, endearing her to the British people with her genuine warmth and relatability. This increasing public admiration added strain to her already challenging marriage with Charles. The constant media spotlight created a fishbowl existence for Diana, where every move was scrutinized and every gesture analyzed. Despite the glamour and prestige of her position, Diana's life was far from a fairy tale, filled with personal struggles and a relentless quest for privacy and normalcy for herself and her children. Her journey was marked by immense personal growth and resilience, even as she sought to find her own identity within the strict confines of royal expectations. Later that year, Diana received an invitation to the royal family's Balmoral estate. This visit was significant, almost like an audition for royal approval. Diana fit in effortlessly, charming everyone with her natural ease, and even learning to fish with Charles. The paparazzi quickly caught on to their growing relationship, and Diana became a media sensation. They were particularly captivated by a photo of her at her kindergarten job, which inadvertently revealed more than intended due to the sunlight behind her skirt. Charles's comment about Diana's legs being spectacular indicated a shift in their relationship to something more personal and less formal. By January 1981, with the media frenzy at its peak, Prince Philip decided it was time for Charles to make a decision. He sent a letter to Charles, urging him to either propose to Diana or end their relationship to protect her reputation. Charles took this as a royal mandate, leading to a proposal and what would become the wedding of the century. On February 6, 1981, Charles proposed to Diana, and she accepted. This royal engagement was a major event, filled with immense pressure and expectations. A few weeks after the proposal, the couple gave a televised interview. It was charming until a seemingly simple question cast a shadow over their happy news. When asked if they were in love, Diana immediately said yes, but Charles's ambiguous response about what being in love meant raised some eyebrows. At the time, this was perhaps seen as typical royal reserve. On July 29, 1981, the highly anticipated royal wedding took place at St. Paul's Cathedral in London, drawing an estimated 750 million viewers worldwide. Diana, stunning in an ivory silk gown with a 25-foot train, the longest ever worn by a British royal bride, exuded elegance despite her visible nerves, which led her to mistakenly call Charles by the wrong name during their vows. The wedding's splendor was undeniable, yet hints of underlying challenges and pressures were present from the beginning. Remarkably, Diana and Charles had only met 13 times before his proposal. Imagine committing to marriage after so few encounters. Their honeymoon, expected to be filled with romance and joy, turned out to be far from idyllic. Instead of basking in newlywed bliss, the couple spent time reading books by Charles's favorite author, Lawrence van der Post. Diana later revealed in taped interviews for a biography that her hopes had already faded by the second day of the honeymoon. She felt exhausted and emotionally drained, not from happiness, but from the immense pressure of adapting to her new royal role. In retrospect, both the engagement and wedding were grand yet bittersweet events, marked by celebration and underlying struggles, with millions witnessing only the surface glitter, unaware of the deeper challenges. Despite their history, Camilla attended the royal wedding, likely due to her husband, Andrew Parker Bowles's position as the commanding officer of the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment. At this time, both Charles and Camilla were married to others, and it seemed their romantic involvement had ended.
I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there.
In a shocking turn of events, tensions have reportedly flared within the royal household, with King Charles allegedly delivering a harsh reprimand to Queen Camilla, sparking an unexpected reaction. Sources close to the palace reveal that this confrontation may have stemmed from a recent disagreement on a sensitive matter within the monarchy, leading to a rift between the royal couple. Camilla, known for her resilience, was visibly shaken by Charles's words, and insiders suggest that she had a rare public outburst that left those around her stunned. This latest episode hints at underlying issues between Charles and Camilla, and while the royal family typically handles disputes in private, this incident has fueled fresh speculations about growing discord. The royal couple's public image has always emphasized unity, but this incident raises questions about the stability and cohesion within the royal household. Queen Camilla's life within the royal family has been marked by transformation, dedication, and public intrigue that have defined her journey from a figure surrounded by controversy to a respected royal. Her role as the Queen Consort of King Charles III places her in a unique position within the British monarchy, a position that carries immense responsibility and influence, as well as expectations that she continues to reshape. Camilla's role in the royal family has evolved over the years, particularly as she transitioned from Duchess of Cornwall to Queen Consort. Early on, her presence was often met with public skepticism, but she steadily became a committed and reliable figure beside Charles. Camilla has embraced her role with a focus on philanthropy, supporting numerous causes, and making a real difference in communities across the United Kingdom. From championing issues related to literacy, health, and domestic violence to supporting the arts, her work emphasizes connection and empathy. Many people have come to see Camilla as a grounded, relatable royal, often using her position to give a voice to issues that might otherwise remain in the shadows. One of her most prominent initiatives has been in the area of literacy and education, a cause she is deeply passionate about. Camilla founded the Reading Room, an online platform that celebrates literature and encourages readers to come together. The initiative has grown immensely popular, with readers around the world engaging in discussions, following Camilla's personal book recommendations, and participating in live author events. Her dedication to this cause shows her commitment to leaving a meaningful legacy, one that promotes the enrichment of minds and the encouragement of lifelong learning. Camilla's role in championing health issues is also significant. She has worked with organizations that promote awareness of osteoporosis, a disease that affected her mother and grandmother. Through her personal experiences, she has been able to bring greater attention to the disease and encourage people to seek support and treatment. Her advocacy extends beyond physical health. She is also a vocal supporter of mental health initiatives, particularly for young people and victims of domestic abuse. In collaboration with various organizations, Camilla works to remove the stigma associated with mental health issues and create safe spaces for those in need. Her efforts in this area have gained substantial recognition, and she has been credited with helping to shift public perception on these critical topics. Engagement with the public is central to Camilla's role as Queen Consort. Unlike other royals who may sometimes appear distant or aloof, Camilla's interactions often carry a warmth and sincerity that resonates with those she meets. She frequently attends events where she listens to people's stories, offering comfort and showing genuine interest in their lives. This approach has helped her build a reputation as a people's queen, of sorts, someone who cares about the struggles and joys of ordinary people. Whether visiting community centers, schools, or hospitals, Camilla always makes an effort to connect on a personal level, which has helped endear her to many and shift public opinion over time. Despite her strong presence and positive contributions, Camilla is no stranger to rumors and speculation, particularly regarding her relationship with King Charles and her role within the family. From the early days of her relationship with Charles, she has been a focal point of media attention, often portrayed in unflattering ways that cast a shadow over her public image. Rumors surrounding her influence on the king, as well as her relationships with other royal family members, continue to surface from time to time. While these stories are frequently exaggerated or unfounded, they reflect the challenges she faces in maintaining her reputation in the public eye. One recurring rumor is that Camilla wields a significant amount of influence over King Charles. Some speculate that she is a key advisor to him, particularly on issues related to modernizing the monarchy. While the extent of her influence is not publicly known, it is likely that, as his closest confidant, she does provide insight and support that helps guide his decisions. Their relationship, forged over many years and many challenges, is built on mutual respect, and it's understandable that Charles might value her perspective. Still, the notion that Camilla could influence policy decisions or the monarchy's future is often blown out of proportion by tabloids eager to stir up controversy. In addition to questions about her influence, Camilla's relationship with other members of the royal family is another area of interest and speculation. While there have been reports of tension between her and other royals, especially in the early years of her marriage to Charles, insiders suggest that these relationships have evolved over time. Camilla has reportedly made efforts to build rapport with the younger generation of royals, including Prince William and Prince Harry. While the dynamics within the family are complex and often strained by public expectations and media pressure, it appears that Camilla is generally well regarded and respected by her extended family members. Looking ahead, Camilla's future as queen consort promises both challenges and opportunities. As the monarchy adapts to the demands of a rapidly changing world, Camilla will play a crucial role in shaping its direction and relevance. Her focus on social issues, coupled with her approachable demeanor, positions her as a bridge between the traditional aspects of the monarchy and the progressive values that many people, particularly younger generations, wish to see embraced by the royal family. Her ability to connect with the public and her willingness to engage on difficult topics suggest that she will continue to be an important figure in the monarchy's public outreach. One potential challenge for Camilla moving forward is navigating the scrutiny that inevitably comes with her role. As queen consort, every aspect of her life is subject to public analysis, and even small missteps can become major talking points. However, her experience over the years has equipped her to handle criticism with grace and resilience. Camilla's approach to public life is less about perfection and more about authenticity. She understands that connecting with people sometimes means showing vulnerability and acknowledging imperfections. Another area where Camilla could make a lasting impact is in the modernization of royal traditions. While King Charles is known for his interest in environmentalism and the arts, Camilla's focus on social issues and her relatively progressive approach to her role could encourage the monarchy to adapt to contemporary values. This includes promoting greater inclusivity within the institution and expanding the monarchy's involvement in issues like mental health and domestic abuse. By aligning the monarchy with causes that resonate with modern audiences, Camilla can help ensure its relevance and importance in the years to come. Ultimately, Camilla's journey as queen consort is one of reinvention and resilience. She has proven that, despite initial opposition and ongoing rumors, it is possible to carve out a meaningful role within one of the world's most scrutinized institutions. Her engagement with people, commitment to social causes, and down-to-earth personality have earned her a level of respect that seemed unlikely in the past. Today, Camilla stands not only as King Charles's partner, but as a figure of her own making. A queen consort who has redefined her position through dedication and kindness. As she continues her work, the legacy she builds will reflect her unique approach to the role. Whether through her support for literacy, health awareness, or the various other causes she champions, Camilla is leaving an indelible mark on the royal family. While questions about her influence and relationships will likely persist, her actions speak louder than any rumors. By staying true to her values and remaining committed to making a positive impact, Queen Camilla is securing her place in the future of the monarchy, shaping it in a way that reflects both tradition and progress. Queen Camilla's importance in the royal family continues to deepen, often blending tradition with her own style. Initially viewed as a controversial figure, she's become instrumental in bolstering the monarchy's public image, especially after her official title of queen consort became queen following King Charles's ascension. Her approach is practical, direct, and she's committed to supporting various charitable initiatives, from causes like osteoporosis awareness, something she has long been passionate about, to promoting literacy and tackling domestic violence. These efforts have not only redefined her role, but have also increased her popularity over the years. In terms of future moves, Camilla is likely to continue modernizing and streamlining the royal presence. Unlike past consorts who largely stayed out of the limelight, she appears ready to step into a more vocal, public-facing role, possibly championing mental health or other contemporary issues facing younger generations. Her next steps may also involve engaging with international audiences, subtly shaping foreign relations through diplomatic visits and partnerships.